All right, so I want to start a whole series, a whole masterclass here on the jab, okay? A lot of people say that the jab is the most important punch in all of fighting, and I agree. So we should put a lot of study into the jab. And the jab's been around for a long time. You see on cave walls in Ethiopia from thousands and thousands of years ago, people throwing the jab. So it's definitely something that you should take with you your entire martial arts career, and something that should be a continued field of study. So just to start off with the basics and the foundation of the jab, okay? If I'm going to be fighting someone, I'm going to want to have my hands up, I'm going to want to have my chin down, and I'm going to want to look through my eyebrows. Okay, there's a lot of ways, a lot of different guards and positions to be able to hold your hands in, but that's a whole separate topic for another video. What you want to do with the jab is you want to turn your foot. All of the power comes from the floor, and a lot of people say it's almost like squashing a bug. Like your foot is going to turn like you're squashing a bug or stomping out a cigarette on the floor, and your hand goes out. And all of the power comes up through the floor, out to the hand. A couple points to remember here on this one is that you want to squeeze your fist right at the end. A lot of times if you have gloves on, it's really tough to squeeze your hands the whole fight in the gloves. So a lot of times instructors will say, only really squeeze the punch at the end of the technique. You want to throw a twist in the punch where your fist comes all the way around and twists. And when you are punching, you want to make sure, this is on this side so that they can see, that of course your hands stay up. A common thing is people drop their hands, and when their hands drop, they get hit. And that this hand, when I throw this punch, my shoulder stays protecting my chin. So if a predator comes around with a technique on this side, my jaw, which is what generally gets hit when you get knocked out, is protected. So those are some basic things for the foundational jab of when you're standing in place and you throw that front hand down. Now, the second foundational jab that I want you to get good at is if you can't reach them from this particular range, you need to take a step with the jab, okay? When you step with the jab, it adds a little bit of speed, a little bit of power, and it allows you to close distance in a way that could be beneficial to you. You want to make sure that you don't step and then throw the punch, or punch and then step. You really want to make this happen both at the same time to be able to close distance where when you normally couldn't hit them with the jab, when you add the step, then you can, okay? The third and final foundational jab is that you want to jab to the body, okay? So in this one, a lot of times you really want to bend your legs and you want to bring your head down and throw the jab to the body. Of course, doing all the same ideas where we're still turning our hips, getting our power from the floor, and hitting right where that rib cage opens is a great target for that. Now, a lot of people are afraid on this foundational jab of getting countered with an overhand right to your face. And that is a legitimate counter. But if we're aware of this, if we know how to set up our punches correctly, we could avoid this from happening. One of the most important, if not the most important thing in striking is I want to hit the target that is open and available to me, whether it's his head or his body, okay? If his hands are up protecting his head, I hit his body. If his hands are dropped down to defend the body, I go and I hit the head, okay? So that's the constant dilemma that you should be playing with when you're not only throwing the jab, but with any technique. And these, in my opinion, are the foundational techniques when you are getting good at the jab.